Welcome students to the week 8 Zoom session. And so this week we're going to be doing week 8 discussion. And so the week 8 discussion continues what you did in week 7. And so you're just going to add on to your outline or pre-write that you did in week 7. And so for the week 8 discussion, I'm pretty flexible. You can hand in a longer free write, or you can hand in a more detailed outline, or you can hand in a rough draft for your comparison contrast essay. Just make sure that you are comparing two similar things, and then if you have an easy topic, then tell me which one you like. If you have a complicated topic, then you can give a straight comparison. So you only give a straight comparison if the topic is unfamiliar to the audience. For instance, if you have an easy topic like childhood versus adulthood, then just go ahead and tell us your preference of which one you like better, because everybody knows the difference between, childhood versus adulthood. Therefore, what makes the essay interesting is which one that you like better. And so that's why I do it that way. And then for your week 8, that's for your week 8 essay 2. And also in week 8, you're going to be doing a week 8 outline. And so the week 8 outline is the same worksheet that you filled out in week 2 for your essay 1. And so your week 8, as I went over last week, we're going through the writing process for essay 2, the same way we went over the writing process for essay 1. And so the writing process consists of pre-writing, writing, and rewriting. And so right now in weeks 7 and 8, we're doing pre-writing. We're just working on the outline, we're working on our thesis statement, and we're working on organizing our ideas. And so in the week 8 forum, I'm going back to that one, what I'll do is if you have a really good essay structure, then I'll just give you feedback on grammar errors. If your essay structure is weak, then I'll give you feedback on a better outline and a more full outline so that you can work on your essay structure. Either way, I will give feedback to improve your comparison contrast essay. And then after week 8, we're going to put aside comparison contrast essay for about 2 weeks. We're going to come back to the comparison contrast essay in weeks 11 and 12, in which we will do the rough draft and the final draft. So the first stage of the writing process for the essay, for essay 2, is weeks 7 and 8. And then we will write our rough draft and do our rewrite, in other words, correct grammar mistakes and all that sort of stuff, and final draft in weeks 11 and 12. Don't ask me why the instructional designer did it that way. Then in week 9, in the week 9 forum, you're going to write a persuasive essay. And so most of this lecture is going to be about what is a persuasive essay. And a persuasive essay means that you want to convince the reader of your point of view. And you can find topics for your persuasive essay at the procon.org website. I'll repeat that again. You can find topics for your persuasive essay at the procon.org .org website. And so when you write your persuasive essay, you should write at least 3 paragraphs. The introduction would have the hook, 5 background sentences that introduce the topic, then a thesis statement that has the topic, opinion, and then the reasons. And then you could just have that one body paragraph, and then a conclusion, and that's it. So for week 9, you just get to write a 3-body paragraph. So you take a break from the usual 5-paragraph, 5-paragraph style. So in the introduction, you introduce the topic, and in the body paragraph, you illustrate and give reasons and give examples of why you think gun control is necessary, or if you think that gun control is not necessary. So basically, when you write a persuasive essay, you take a position, you take a stand in your thesis statement. In other words, you take a side. So are you for or against abortion? Are you for or against gun control? Are you for or against whatever your topic is? And you choose whether you are for or against something in your thesis statement. And then in your one body paragraph, you tell us why you are for or against that topic. And then in your conclusion, your first sentence, you repeat the thesis statement, and then you summarize the highlights of the essay. What key takeaways do we get from that reading your, as 3-paragraph essay? And if you have any statistics or numbers, then you need to cite the source. Okay, any kind of numbers, medical facts, unknown knowledge, that sort of thing, you need to cite the source, and then give reference citations at the very end of your post, and use APA. So when you have a direct quote, you have quotation marks, and then you have author, date, page number. And when you have a paraphrase quote, then you don't need quotation marks, you just have the author and the date. When you have your reference citation, you have the author last name, author first name, date, then the article name in italics, the website name, and then the date you retrieved the website and the website address. So that would be your APA. So that's your big assignment for week 9, in which you're going to choose a topic and take a side and tell us why you chose, that side. So that's week 9 in a nutshell. And then in week 10, which I'll do in the next video, you're going to just be filling out a APA worksheet. So that's why week 7 and 8 is going to be pre-writing for comparison contrast. Week 9 is going to be a persuasive essay. Week 10 is some kind of, worksheet for APA. And then weeks 11 and 12, you will be finishing up your comparison contrast essay and taking a midterm exam. And so what I've done is I have sent you, or I will send you, a final exam template or study guide. I believe I sent it to you in your announcements. And then you can find all the answers to the final exam by studying the self-study button, or the self-study cards, flashcards, index cards in your textbook. Because I talked about that in the previous video on how important it is for you to make index cards and flashcards of all the definitions and rules in the textbook. And so that should not stop, so that each week when you read the expectations and readings, you should little by little be studying the textbook and then write down the definitions and rules all on flashcards or textbooks, not that, flashcards and index cards, so that you can learn the different definitions of what is a thesis statement, or what is the difference between coherence and unity, essay coherence and essay unity, that sort of thing. And I will send you the worksheets, except this time I'm not going to put in the answers, and I'll let you find the answers in the textbook, because the textbook is the place where it's what the test is based on. So you should be studying for your final exam right now, and not wait until the very last minute to study for your final exam. And what else do you need to do? That about covers pretty much today's Zoom. So today's Zoom is pretty short. You write it, and I want to repeat the name of the website where you can find your persuasive essay topics. And you're going to be working on the persuasive essay in week 9 forum and the week 10 forum. And so you can find topics at the PROCON, that's one word, .org website. It's a pretty good website because it goes over both the pros and the cons, and you could read the pros and cons yourself and then decide for yourself which side you want to go on. And then you defend that particular side. So for instance, if I said, I am against abortion because because God created life and therefore abortion is murder, for instance. That's one stance. Or you could say, well, women, and then another stance would be women have the right to, decide what to do with their bodies. so therefore abortion is okay. And then, but there are two different stances and two different papers. Okay, you cannot say abortion is okay, but then again, I'm for it and against it. So you can't be for and against something. And so choose a topic for which readers can agree or disagree upon. That's usually a sign of a good thesis statement. And so take a side, defend it, and that's pretty much your persuasive essay. You could even say online classes are not as good as you know, face-to-face classes, or face-to-face classes are not very good, or whatever, because. So basically take a side, defend that side, and then you can write it pretty short for the week 9 forum, and then the week 10 forum we're going to be using ChatGPT to make it, you know, longer, better, and that sort of thing. So you know the drill. And so that's pretty much 8, 9, and 10 in a nutshell. If you have any questions about APA, how to do a persuasive essay, how to use ChatGPT, or anything else, you can always come to my Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Zoom sessions. And if you don't have the Zoom meeting link, you could always email me, and I will gladly send you the Zoom meeting link. And then you can ask any questions about the class. And that's Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the Professor H Writing channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime. And have a great week.